Morning, folks. No long intro. We have our silver bullet hour right now, so I'm looking for sell side. I'd like to see a run above these highs, potentially into this old fair value gap. Then I'd be interested in going short up there. But if not, if it breaks this low without giving me an entry, I'll probably maybe look to take another entry short. But I do want to sell above here though. Looks like we might get that. Let's see. It's been a productive day so far. I hope you guys feel the same. So I'm measuring my stop where it'd have to be. So around 4.5 handles. Alright. I really do hope I get this entry because I really want to see sell side. Now let's take a look at NQ. We have a BISI in here. That used to be one of my models. It was my flagship model for a very long time, targeting BISIs and SIBIs. So you could potentially use this as a six sister approach and going short in this market. Look at YM. If you look at ES and the Dow, you'll see these two, they're looking for sell side. And they failed to take this high. I talked about that in the Telegram chat. I'm changing my bias because ES and the Dow failed to take this 830 high, and they took out buy stops all the way up here, but it couldn't really climb that high, and it just tanked, taking out the short-term swing low, which to me now becomes a shift in market structure, especially for the silver bullet hour. It's very unlikely to see this thing climb right back up. If that were to happen, it'll simply be a seek and destroy sort of day to me. Today, on Tuesday, there's really nothing going on until the end of the week. I think Fed's talking. So I'm not expecting that today. So I still favor sell side here, even though I'd like to see a climb up here. At the most, maybe up here. But anything in here inside this old fair value gap, then I'd like to see it go lower. And for NQ, get the consequent encouragement of this gap in here. You can see how, let's do it actually. One of you guys told me the trick on how to get my lines to actually be straight. I used to always have to toggle them back and forth trying to get them straight. I think it's shift and yeah, if you click shift, it just sets the line straight. Thank you for that. I forgot your name, but you know who you are. Okay, so we have NQ climbing into this BISI up here. Let me see if ES is doing the same. Oh, look at that. I really want to go short still. All right, I did it. So I stop. It's going to be up here. 17 ticks. A little bit on the riskier side as a entry, and it may feel uncomfortable to some of you, but it's one of those. If the markets aren't really feeling it, then we'll get stopped out, but I'm expecting lower prices. So that's that volume imbalance up here, and I'm extending that, and it's going to be my line of defense also. I mean, if we see a trade higher, ignore this volume imbalance, this bearish order block, and keep going higher, then it's just, it's a losing trade. Take it to the chin and move on. So here's sell side. So 25 ticks, a little bit over 5 handles, and we'll call it a day. So from there on, and the reason I actually have the ticks showing rather than the dollar amount, What that does is it desensitizes you from the outcome. Because you're not seeing the dollar amount go up and down, so your emotions kind of get stabilized a little bit. So it's one of those nice tricks I figured out a few months ago. I was just playing back and forth, and I realized, wait a minute, with this, I can hold on to trades way longer. I can talk. I'm not running out of breath because I'm looking at my money going back and forth. So, but on MetaTrader 4, I don't think you can do that. So it's really only a trading view thing, I believe. But I'm sure there's a software out there that can do that, or there's a lot of programmers. You can have it programmed for yourself. If you're a coder, you can do that yourself. If not, you might have to hire someone to do it for you. I find that to be tremendously beneficial, to me at least. So sell side, it's right there. And I like the fact that it ignored this BISI. That's really good to see, especially if you want to see sell side taken. Let me show you in here. Because a lot of people, if you're a beginner, you might have wanted to go long in this. You might have said, okay, here's buy side liquidity up here, up here. So I'm gonna go long in here. But it's not like that. Not today, buddy. Not today, man. I'm taking your money today. But I like how he ignored it and it formed this brand new SIBI. There's this new concept I should teach talking about the immediate rebalance. I understand it to some degree, but not well enough to explain it to you guys. So it's a lot of these things I have to work out in my head before I can really talk about them. But I really like seeing this sort of stuff, though. We're almost there. Pay the trader. You guys like my voice? I'm about to text it in the chat right now. All right. So, how does it feel? How does it feel to be in the presence? Master at work. I'm not a master yet, but trust me, that's the goal right there. That is the goal, man. Want to be so good at this. Even ICT salutes me. And he hasn't done that yet. He's replied to me and all that sort of stuff, but he's never nodded at me. At least not like I want it to be. Not yet, at least. He'll see. I like the dynamic, though, between my relationship and him. Now, he doesn't give his approval out like that. Even though he'll he'll have his days, he'll support some of these guys on YouTube, and I'll watch them live stream. I'm like, these dudes stink, man. Not to be mean or whatever, but these guys, they suck. You gonna support that, and you're not supporting me? But I like the fact that he has people he supports, so that shows there is hope. Not that that's the goal to have his support, but as a guy I've been listening to for years now, since a teenager, it's just I really wanna see that. Maybe next year. There's a lot of things I'm working on, and eventually it'll happen. But I certainly hope today's video was insightful to you all. You got to see me take a trade live, what the process is like. Some of you asked to have me explain it beforehand and then actually doing it. Okay, you see NASDAQ. So that's the sixth sister. But one of my models used to be this BISI. That'll be the target. And I actually made that model public. So it's called the Ikigai X. You can actually get it on, if you scroll on my Telegram channel, Ikigai Trading, I made that one public. I had over 100 examples of that exact model when I've used it, when I've seen it and marked it up and all that kind of stuff. So I've traded this a lot, even before knowing the Six Sister approach. Just this imbalance. I always wanted to target that. Let's look at YM. Of course, more sell side. It's not rocket science, but to some of you as beginners, this is going to wow you. To some of you that are, pros, it's like, yeah, that's what you expect from me. So I certainly hope this one was helpful. I don't record that much anymore, but I'm really trying to, especially this week. Got a new computer, way faster system, so it's a good way to start the week. I didn't really trade that much yesterday. I was out with some family things to take care of, but let's see. Video is already 10 minutes long, so I don't want to hold you guys too long. I do want to point out though, typically on a day like this, you'd expect more sell side, way more. So for me, it's always gonna be I need to hold on to these trades longer because even though I just got 25 ticks or something, there can be way more. I'm not gonna be doing any fib projections and all in grading any price swings to tell you where I'd like to see price go, but I'm very bullish on the dollar, and I'll show you. This might be a long one, unfortunately. So look at this. And I had this marked up in this morning, and I don't really post stuff like that, but that's the bias. So we have this old daily high in here, and ultimately this SIBI. So I'm bearish on indices in general, and Michael talked about that himself. So I'm leaning on his years of experience to actually guide me through that. So a lot of these trades, especially earlier on throughout the week, if you're able to catch a short, it can go pretty far. But if you can do it pretty much every day, you don't need to be forcing those home run type of trades because five handles here and there, it adds up fairly quickly, guys. So hope this one was insightful. Keep talking too much. And I'll probably talk to you guys later. And do join my Telegram chat. I've been trying to get it to 200 members. I mean, since last month, I'll get to 193 and then 92. It's always back and forth. So I want to get it to 200 today. So hope you guys join, and I hope you guys find that chat insightful as well. That's the goal of my channel, and that's the goal of Ikigai Trading. So have a good day and good trading.